Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sends a cable of condolences to His Highness the Crown Prince of Thailand on the death of his father. The Public Authority for Radio and Television wins the second prize in annual radio programs competition. And the premiere of the Omani-German joint documentary film Sons of Sindibad is shown in the German city of Munich. Live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, here we present to you the details of this news bulletin. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of condolences to His Highness Maha Vajiralongkorn, Crown Prince of Thailand, on the death of his father, King Bhumibol Adulyadej of Thailand. The Public Authority for Radio and Television won the second prize for one of its radio programs in the annual radio programs competition organized by the Arab States Broadcasting Union. The prize was achieved for an episode about the Prophet's poet prepared and presented by Naila Al-Blushia and directed by Amina Al-Amriya. It's worth mentioning that the Egyptian radio won the first prize after the draw results. The premiere of the Omani-German joint documentary film Sons of Sindibad was launched in the German city of Munich. It came to shed light on the deep-rooted history and civilization of Oman, as well as the role played by the Sultanate in regional and political arenas. The event witnessed a huge attendance by Omani and German officials. The film runs about 52 minutes, through which the viewers followed the Omani merchant Abu al-Ubaida Abdullah al-Qasmi in a journey through the history in the mid-18th century on his way to Silk Road in China. The film will be shown in a number of world cities and capitals with multiple languages. The Gulf Cooperation Council countries' foreign ministers agreed to extend the current joint work plan between the GCC and Turkey until the end of 2018, in addition to keep up with the developments in the field of strategic cooperation. Ministers also stressed on the establishment of a free trade zone between GCC and Turkey as soon as possible through a resuming negotiations process. This came at the fifth joint meeting of the strategic dialogue between Gulf Cooperation Council and Turkey in Riyadh. Overwhelmed rescue workers combed rubble for victims of intense airstrikes on Syria's battleground city Aleppo today, ahead of fresh diplomatic efforts to end the country's intractable conflict. The United States and Russia, which supports opposite sides in the 5-year war, will meet in Switzerland tomorrow to try to resurrect the peace process. The intensified bombardment has put a severe strain on rescue workers and medical staff in eastern Aleppo, home to an estimated 250,000 residents under siege. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov are expected to hold fresh talks to try to revive the ceasefire deal in Lucerne tomorrow. United Nations Syrian envoy Staffan de Mistura will attend along with the chief diplomats from Turkey, Saudi Arabia and Qatar. The U.S.-led coalition is increasing airstrikes in and around the militant-held city of Mosul as Iraqi ground forces build up ahead of a planned operation to retake the city. The coalition said its planes had conducted more than 50 airstrikes against the Daesh group in the Mosul area over the past 2 weeks. Iraqi ground forces are moving into place to the south and east of Mosul, while Qayyara Air Base villages to the south of Mosul remains the main base of operations. Iraqi army convoy, including a unit of the country's elite special forces, are traveling to frontline positions to the east of the city. The operation to retake Mosul is expected to be the most complex yet for Iraq's military. Iraqi and coalition forces said some 30,000 troops will be needed to retake the city that has been under Daesh control for more than 2 years. The United States nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, the USS Ronald Reagan, today took part in a joint naval exercise with South Korea. The joint naval drill, called Invisible Spirit 2016, kicked off on Monday in the waters surrounding the Korean Peninsula. U.S. Rear Admiral Charles Williams said the Ronald Reagan strikes group includes 6 other warships from the United States, and those are a mix of cruisers and destroyers. North Korea has conducted its 5th and biggest nuclear test on September 9th, and South Korea said it believes the North is ready to conduct another test at any time. The North has been testing different types of missiles at an unprecedented rate this year, and the capability to mount a nuclear warhead on missiles is especially worrying for its neighbors, South Korea and Japan. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. Fans of obstacle course racing say OCR is the world's fastest growing sport, and it's becoming big business. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Oman oil price December delivery reached $50.25. The Dubai Mercantile Exchange statement said that the price of Oman oil rose 89 cents from the price of yesterday. The average price of Oman oil November 2016 delivery has reached $43.92. Within its tours to various governorates of the Sultanate, the introductory campaign for a Ru'ya Award for Youth Initiatives in its 4th edition visited the governorate of Al Buremi. A meeting was organized in Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry Buremi branch with an attendance from school and higher education institution students, as well as those with initiatives in various fields. The meeting focused on enhancing youth participation and initiatives. The Sultanate attracts more tourists during winter season due to the moderate temperature and the country's attractive touristic sites. The Minister of Tourism prepared all the touristic sites to be clean and suitable for the visitors during winter season. According to the National Information and Statistics Center, the number of tourists to the Sultanate by the end of October 2015 amounted to more than 2,936,000 tourists. The month of September alone recorded more than 275,000 visitors, with an increase of more than 85% compared to the same period in 2014. It is indicated that the tourism sector will contribute to the gross domestic product despite the challenges that are faced due to the oil price decline. An estimated 6 million people around the world will take an obstacles course race in 2016, running up steep and slippery slopes, climbing impossibly high ropes, and wading through thigh-high mud in the countryside. More details in the following report.
Everest obstacle course style. Welcome to Tough Mudder, one of the first in a recent and growing craze of obstacle course challenges. Participants are pushed to the limit as they overcome freezing water, slippery and steep slopes, and even live electricity.
Going through a lot of the water-based obstacles has been quite hard and quite tough, and when you've got a big group of you to try and get through them, it takes a long time and a lot of mental endurance as well as physical.
Tough Mudder was set up in 2010 and was an instant hit, tapping into a trend for intense experiences. Revenue has grown more than 3,200% to reach a turnover of $100 million in just 5 years, and has expanded from the United States to 10 countries around the world.
It's about teamwork and camaraderie, about doing your best, and we have people here today that have overcome serious injuries, amputations, people who've overcome alcoholism, and Tough Mudder really is a story about people challenging themselves and being the best version of themselves.
Elsewhere, the sport has taken a more competitive edge, and many hope it could one day be included in the Olympic Games. This race has an elite athlete section, which is a qualifier for the World Championships, an event which began 2 years ago.
Once you've done one 10K road race, you've done the same sort of thing wherever. You've done it once, it's always going to be the same. Whereas an obstacle race is always different, so that means it's always new and it's always exciting. You don't get upset if you don't break your PB, because there are no PBs. Every race is always different. So that means it's always going to be a new experience, and that's what people are after, the experiences.
Aficionados say this is the world's fastest growing sport. It's estimated some 6 million people will take part in an obstacle course event in 2016, proving that extreme racing is heading for new heights.
Indeed, that was a very good obstacle course. We all need to do that. And now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the most of the governorates, with chances of cloud accumulation and scattered rains of the Hajar Mountains. Winds will be northeasterly light to moderate over the coast of Sea of Oman, while along the coast of the Arabian Sea it will be southwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight to moderate along the coast of Arabian Sea, with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. Rest of the coast, it will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. And here are the details. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sends a cabal of condolences to His Highness the Crown Prince of Thailand on the death of his father. Public Authority for Radio and Television wins the second prize in annual radio programs competition. And premiere of the Omani-German joint documentary film Sons of Sindibad is shown in the German city of Munich. With that, we come to an end of tonight's news bulletin, brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. From the entire news here, we thank you for joining us, wish you a pleasant evening and good night.